Hey guys, it's Stephen here. Manchester City have just battered Newcastle 5-0. I really do love watching City play Newcastle at home. I think that's 11 wins in a row now at home against Newcastle, which is a new Manchester City record, I think. Either way, we batter them as we always do, and I absolutely love that. As much as I love OneFootball as well, I want to say go download OneFootball in the link in the description below. They've been supporting my channel for absolutely ages now, and you do me a massive favour by clicking the link in the description, downloading it, because it's a wonderful app with loads of Manchester City news, and it's absolutely brilliant, and you're helping support this channel. So what's not to love about it? Go and download it for all the stats and all the information you need from Manchester City's fantastic performance against Newcastle. It's class, I promise you. Let's get on to that game. That was good. It was really good. I enjoyed that an awful lot. It was a stroll in the park. I can't pretend that Newcastle were anything other than absolutely shite. They were really bad, genuinely really bad. That was a limp, worthless display from Newcastle. But you can only really beat what's in front of you. And on that front, Manchester City, we got the reaction that we needed after the Southampton game. We really did. And we turned up today and we were professional. And it was a comfortable, professional performance against a team that could have caused us problems, if we're being honest, if they turned up too. But thankfully they didn't. After the frustration of the Southampton game, I wanted to see a few goals today. We got those goals. I wanted to see a clinical Manchester City. And largely, I think we took, apart from Foden, we took our chances pretty well. You'll let Phil Foden off for that, but because he's usually so clinical. But largely, we did what we were expected to do today. More than anything, I was impressed with the work rate of the team. They were constantly closing Newcastle down from the front. We didn't give them a second to relax on the ball. And we were really just basically on it from the first moment. And that's what Guardiola would have wanted. He would have wanted that reaction, and he got that reaction from the team. Now, we know he wasn't disappointed with the overall performance against Southampton, just maybe finishing in front of the goal. And today felt like that kind of game, but with the goals instead. And defensively, we're a lot more solid. The team lineup was interesting, of course. Ederson in goal was a given, as it always is a given. That defence, we joked about on Twitter like we all did, but I mean, they were pretty good to be fair to him. But that defence was a much changed Manchester City defence. Cancelo was in defence alongside Stones and Otamendi and Zinchenko. Now, on paper, it was very tempting to think, well, that's going to really cripple us because that isn't a reliable defence at all. It isn't. It's one littered with potential mistakes or comedy moments, but they stood up pretty well to Newcastle. Then in midfield, we had Rodri behind David Silva and Kevin De Bruyne. Then Mahrez, Phil Foden on the left, and Gabriel Jesus for the middle. It was a pretty strong forward line, one that we're all pretty happy with. And to be honest, in the end, it was totally not too one-sided. I saw this great stat. Man City completed 93.7% of their passes against Newcastle. That's 787 out of 840. That's the highest recorded figure in a Premier League game since full passing data is available. So since Opta started recording passes in 2003 and 2004 season, that's the highest ever pass completion rate in one team, 93.7%. That's absolutely astonishing. Another great record, by the way. Not a record, another great interesting stat. Kevin De Bruyne, with his assist today, now has more assists than Xabi Alonso did in his entire Premier League career. Which is a very good player, Xabi Alonso. So that shows you just how freakishly good Kevin De Bruyne's assist record is. A good assist today. He could have had a couple of more. Foden in particular robbed him of an absolute tap-in. I don't know how Foden didn't put that one away. But De Bruyne was good today. Defensively, I thought we were pretty solid, you know. Stones... I want Stones to succeed. And today he did all he could do. I saw a stat once again before the game where Stones hadn't started 2 games in a row for Manchester City since February 2019, which just shows exactly his problems. 1, it's his own form, and 2, it's his injuries. And you can't trust a player who's not playing very often. And that's where a lot of the concerns about John Stones comes from. But today he played, and he played pretty well. He was good alongside Otamendi. Now, he wasn't really challenged at any point by a very limp and kind of pathetic Newcastle team, if we're being totally honest. But all he did today was what he had to do. Just turn up, be professional, be focused. And he did his job perfectly well. So did Zinchenko as well. He was pretty comfortable in midfield as he moved into the centre positions. He did his job perfectly well there. On the right, I think Cancelo's actually had a good couple of games. Cancelo, I've said this a few times now, I need Cancelo to be something different to Kyle Walker. Kyle Walker is obviously so solid defensively, so reliable, and overall, Walker's had a really good season. Cancelo, if he wants to get into this team, he can't just be what Walker is in terms of reliable defensively and neat and tidy on the ball. He has to be something different. He has to show that he has so much more to his game going forward one way. And what we saw from, not as much today, but over the past couple of games in general, is that Cancelo does obviously have a really a much greater awareness positionally of going forward than Kyle Walker does. He's a lot more comfortable in those wide positions, creating things. And there's a couple of moments today where he shimmered really nicely and was linking up really well. That's what I want to see more of Cancelo. He was good today, solid 7 out of 10. Rodri, absolutely just bossed the midfield. It was a stroll in the park for Rodri. I thought he was good though. What he had to do, he did it really well. Kept the ball really well, kept it ticking over. He snuffed out any attacks from Newcastle before they got anywhere near half. He was physical, he was strong, he was getting forward, and it was a good, impressive performance. Ederson, by the way, had nothing to do. One delightful pass, which could have been an assist from Mahrez, but other than that, it was quiet. It was just pure Ederson. Midfield, Kevin De Bruyne, once again, not his best game by any stretch of the imagination, but he still got 1 assist and could have had a couple more. That's Kevin De Bruyne in a nutshell. I can't believe that it's likely that he might not equal this record. I mean, he could do it. He probably will do it, but it's possible that he might not now because games are running out. And if he doesn't, we've absolutely spoiled it for him because he should have had 20 odd assists by now. I want him to get his record and fingers crossed he can do it in the next few games because he's so good. David Silva. Oh, why? Why is he going? Why is he going? He was so good today. He was the best player on the pitch. He rolled back the years, as they say, which is the cliche of any player getting older. And he showed how intelligent he is, linking up in that inside left channel when he's just inside the edge of the 18-yard box on the left. There's no better player in world football in that position. How he drifts into that space, and he's always good for that kind of pre-assist pass or then the assist cutting it back. 2 assists today. His second one was right in the 90th minute, working really hard to win the ball high up the pitch and then unselfishly squaring it to Sterling. That's quality. That's the quality you get from a player of that professionalism in general. I mean, to be his age and still working that hard in the final minutes of the game, amazing. And then the free kick as well. Just a delightful free kick. It made me a little bit emotional to think we're actually seeing the last of David Silva because he's been such a sensational player, the most gifted, calm, composed player on the ball I've probably ever seen. I'm going to miss him so much, but today was a great glimpse of what he could be, what he's been, for Manchester City. I loved it. Absolutely wonderful performance. Foden, good, got involved, linking up really nicely. Not his explosive best today, but we saw a couple of lovely driving runs. He should have scored. That tapping in particular was a shocking miss, but I'll let him off because he's been really good since he came back. A solid performance. Gabriel Jesus got the goal that he really needed. I was delighted for him to get that goal. Good finish as well. Thought he had a good game today. Obviously, he's not answered any questions or anything like that, but it was nice to see him get just rewards for a good performance, basically. I thought he was good today and he got the goal that he desperately needed. Who else? Mahrez got a goal as well. Nice early goal for him. Solid performance, totally fine. Foden, solid performance, totally fine. It was good to see as well, obviously, Tommy Doyle get on. It was only like a very dead 15 minutes for him, but Doyle looked fine. He held his own out there. It wasn't really much for him to do. It was easy. He was rarely challenged on the ball, but it was nice to see him get a shot away as well. Tommy Doyle is a really likeable player, hard-working, versatile, complete midfielder who I think doesn't really have star quality, and I don't mean that in a negative way. He's not one of those guys like Jaden Braff or Phil Foden who will drink past people, but he's such a complete midfielder. He's so reliable, so steady, though he does actually generally have a great free kick and a great right foot on him. But it's just going to be hard for him as a young player to break into this team because we're so blessed in midfield. But keep him around the Manchester City first team for a year training, get him alone, keep him around the club while he's out on loan. And honestly, he's the kind of guy you end up being a Fernandinho or even a Kevin De Bruyne. Not a Kevin De Bruyne level because he's not got that right foot. And I'm sure if Tommy sees this, he won't mind me saying that. No one really does have a Kevin De Bruyne's right foot. But he has a complete style to his game. And I want to see him get more minutes around the first team. And I want to see City take the time with him because he's a natural leader. He's a natural learner. He's a great lad. And he's got Manchester City coursing through his veins. He could be the kind of guy who reaches the top in the way that Fernandinho or even Henderson have done in terms of that consistency and that reliability while having technical ability at the same time. I mean that as a great compliment. I know people don't rate Henderson, but Henderson's a great footballer, so do not put that down. I want to see him round. Great to see him. And good to see Sterling score as well. A cool, composed finish when we most needed it right at the end. I say most needed it. We didn't need it at all. But it was good to see him score again and continue his good form post lockdown. Overall, I do wish we'd seen more academy players on the bench. I wish we'd seen Braff involved or Delap, but I guess it's not going to happen at the moment. But fingers crossed we'll see more of them. It was a good performance against a decent Newcastle side who didn't play that well today, but you can only once again beat what's in front of you. We saw a few questions potentially answered. Stones is a good player. Can he be the long-term solution? I don't know. it's now or never for Stones. He's generally has to start proving himself. Maybe he's got himself a move to Newcastle because he was pretty good in front of them today. Who knows? But I was happy with that. I enjoyed it. Thanks to everyone who watched the watch along as well. It's really good fun chatting to you all. But Manchester City have won 5-0. We scored 5 goals, which is so nice to see after the frustration of the other day. Let us know in the comments what you make of that game. Go check out the video as well I did earlier about Garcia's future. I think Garcia's going nowhere. Don't worry. I think it's a load of nonsense that. And also go check out the video I did yesterday where talks about my 5 dream signings. Not necessarily realistic. Some are realistic, but 5 dream signings that I want to see at Manchester City. Go and subscribe. Check out these videos right here. Let us know your man of the match and thoughts on the game in the comments down below. I love you all loads, and I'll see you tomorrow for another video in a bit.